Oh man, welcome to SBA Insider. I'm Quinn Taylor. I'm here with Nick Frank and Alex D'Ambrosia.
D-Bro Media here, Quinn. It's
D-Bro
AKA.
Media?
Yeah, D-Bro Media.
Explain, talk to me.
You want to explain? You want me to get into it?
You got it.
So a ton of pictures started being taken. Like we started seeing all these pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
And they were good, it was good stuff. And then we would get tagged and stuff. And then all of a sudden I see D-Bro Media. Obviously Alex D'Ambrosia, D-Bro Media, and here we are with D-Bro Media. Alex started taking pictures of us like in the moment.
Right.
Him from the dugout. And it was some funny shots, it was serious shots, and it was cool. And he kind of enjoyed it. And I thought it was pretty cool in our last year together.
Right.
Him being able to take live shots, because obviously he was there all the time.
Right.
And whether it was in the game or not in the game at the time, he was taking all the pictures he needed. I think he did a question I have for you. I think you did a lot for yourself too.
Yeah,
I think you wanted some memories for yourself.
definitely.
But if you didn't, I apologize for blowing you up.
No, definitely. Like the whole point of that account, to be honest, was like for that last year.
Right.
There's actually times when I'll send Justin something or like a video or a picture, and I'll be like, "Yo, remember this?" And like now looking back, like I'm so glad that I did it. You know?
So am I.
Yeah.
We all are.
It's
Good
incredible you say stuff like that too, because I know, I'm not a big picture taker myself, but my girl is, my family is those types of people. So you don't realize it in the moment while you're doing it. You then go back and you're like, man, I remember that time.
Right.
Right. Kind of go back into a little bit of that time, not only of this past year that you just played with them, but the beginning. Talk about the beginning, man.
I think I got here at like 10U, 11U.
11U.
So in
Yeah.
between the 1.5 wave.
11U.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the B team, and then
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Hunter.
and then eventually worked my way up to this team. But yeah, I came here from Marlboro, and I just wanted a place to, a facility like this and a place to compete. But yeah.
And that competitive edge as a developmental player, that would be what you'd be considered at that time. To be at Seton Hall now, talk about how sweet that only feels, but the push and the support you've had from Nick and SBA.
It's awesome. I feel like I worked really hard to get there, and Nick obviously helped out tremendously. If it wasn't for him, I would not be here, and I'm truly grateful. So I mean, it's awesome. I really do like it.
Mm-hmm. And Nick, talk about your process as a coach, and one of the things I think is so cool about being able to coach is having to coach up, and I think that it's easy to coach really, really good talent, right? But to see a player get where he is now, talk about that journey for you.
I would say at like 14U, I thought he was going to be that good.
Yeah.
It was like 14U on. I remember him, he talked about being on the second team. I don't think about A and B teams like everyone else does when you own a program. To me, there's a certain stage when you get to like 15U where it starts to matter a little more. I would say that's true. But when you're younger, I don't think it matters. He was always good enough to play on the top team. But he wanted to play shortstop. He wanted to hit, all that stuff, right? We probably win Cooperstown if he's on the top team. That's how I look at it. That team went on a run, and we were missing another arm, and he was a stud. So, but it was fun to see him grow into a mature person, like understand baseball, like as a PO, as a third baseman, shortstop, being in the lineup every day, to hitting, to lead the short and triples. Shout out to you always, right? Like,
there you go.
And because the PO conversation always started to happen.
Yeah.
But he never really accepted it, right? I didn't really accept it either. Alex was very good on defense. Alex could hit a little bit as well, right? So I think that part of him growing, and when he ended his sophomore year, him being a little nervous, right? We're having a plan here in the fall of what it's going to look like a year from now. And I'll still remember saying this to him over and over again, Alex, we're going to be good. You're going to be good. You're going to get what you want, and you just need to do X, Y, and Z. And he did X, Y, and Z, and then, got invited to the Garden State games, and it kind of blew up for him quick. Seton Hall wasn't the only school. He had decisions to make. There were more D1 opportunities there for him. It was his junior year. It's May and June, July were his biggest months. So I think people need to look at his story, let him tell his story. But it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
And he would get nervous. And we kind of have the same personality, so we kind of understand each other. And we do live in the moment. One thing he taught me was to live in the moment in our last year. He taught me that. Because I would always be flying and talking on the phone and teams and talking to parents. But when it came to our last hurrah, I was feeling that moment more than ever, and he kind of made me, understand that this is important, that you understand this moment. We love you, you love us. We got to live in this moment. So every tournament, we lived in that moment. In Connecticut, I couldn't even speak to them.
Yeah.
We had one more tournament left. We lost in the finals. We had like 10 guys. And it was the last game that he ever played on defense, and he wanted his moment. So we took him out in the middle of an inning, and I felt it.
Yeah.
But he taught me to do that in the last year. So I'm always going to be respectful to him and say thank you for that, because when you are running a program, it gets hard. People bother you, but Alex made sure, hey, Papa, put your phone down. Let's go. Let's enjoy this. So, and he got me to understand a little more. Sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
So even being, 40 years old, you need your player to tell you to live in the moment right now.
That reset, that understanding of, the magnitude of the moment, right? And understanding those things. What do you think Coach Nick's taught you the most, and what have you taken with yourself now?
Man, Nick's taught me so much, just life and baseball. But I'd say definitely not being satisfied with what you got. You could always do better. There's definitely times where we would mercy a team, but the first thing he would say is when he get in the outfield is hey, maybe we didn't pick up on a sign here, we didn't hit a cutoff. And I feel it's important to make sure to tell us that, because we got the win, but how do we get better?
Right.
And it's sometimes you get the win and you kind of brush everything off, but you want to get better each day. And I feel that's what he really taught me.
Attention to detail, right? And that goes a long way in every program. It goes a long way in the practice style, the work ethic, and all of those things got you to where you are today. Kind of talk about your decision for Seton Hall and why you decided to make that the home.
Seton Hall, I mean, he knows it. I'm a homebody. I love being home, and it's really close to me. And I just want to stay close around. It's a great conference, great coaching staff. I'm truly blessed to have all those coaches there. I've learned so much as I've been there. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome, and I'm really appreciative for Nick helping me out through this process.
Yeah, it's an illustrious history they have there, and people, and the camaraderie, the support, the energy. I think you echoed that based off of what you saw, right? And
definitely.
Nick, how important is that to you to be able to kind of see that players chose the place based on what you created?
It's a good question. It's emotional.
Yeah.
When Juddy goes to 4 or 5 visits and he's talking about why he chose it, he goes, because he said X, Y, and Z, and that reminded me of you.
Yeah.
Alex says that. A lot of those guys do that. So I think that's a cool thing for me. I don't think anyone in the world cares. But for me personally, it's cool to know that. I think about those guys every day. They're all over my office in pictures, right? Jeff calls them the OGs, right? You call them the guys. That's why they're the guys.
Right.
It's not about where they went to school. It's the people. It's how they are as people. It's how they're paying attention to details. We won a lot. I wanted to ask you to tell everyone that we are different line and how that kind of got brought up, because you're the one who, a couple of these guys have said trust the process, right?
Right.
But the we are different you created at 15U. And I want to see if you remember where we were at 15U. MSI, a lot of memories there. Well, we are different slogan, what it meant, and why we started talking about it.
So basically, we were in a championship game at MSI, and the first inning or two, I just wasn't throwing strikes, getting hit around a little bit, and Justin pulls me aside and is listen, throw with confidence, throw your curveball, go get him, attack, and from there on out, I don't remember how deep I went into the game.
Didn't score.
Yeah, they didn't score the rest of the game, and I got shoved.
Zeros.
And we ended up winning. And as I'm walking out and we're taking pictures,
1 o'clock in the morning.
It just I was this is different, It's that doesn't happen on another team, or it's just a different atmosphere, different vibe with the guys, and yeah, I mean, I've learned so much from all of them.
Right. Well, Alex, I can't thank you enough for the interview. We can't thank you enough for the contributions you've made to SBA. Your family, and Nick loves you. We love you here. Continue to keep grinding. Be yourself, and excellent stuff, man.
Thank you.
Excellent
I appreciate
stuff. SBA Insider with